someone in your group is gone. Not gone like they walked to the next camp. Gone. Still. Cold. The same hands that built the fire last night, the same voice that told stories under the stars. Silent. Forever. You have no funeral home, no priest, no coffin, no rule book. Just a body, a grieving group, and 300,000 years of instinct telling you this moment means something. So what did they actually do? The answer is not what you expect, and it will change how you think about death entirely. Let's start with what most people assume, that ancient humans were too busy surviving to care about the dead, that they left bodies behind and moved on, that grief was a luxury they couldn't afford. The evidence says the exact opposite. In 1908, researchers discovered a Neanderthal skeleton in La Chapelle-aux-Saints, France. The body was found in a shallow pit, deliberately dug, with the head carefully positioned. Tools and animal bones were placed nearby. This was not an accident. This was not an animal dragging a carcass into a hole. Someone dug a grave. Someone laid him down. Someone chose what to leave with him. He had been dead for 60,000 years. And someone buried him anyway. But it goes back even further. In Atapuerca, Spain, archaeologists found a pit containing the bones of 28 individuals dating back 430,000 years. No signs of habitation nearby, no food remains, no tools for daily use. Just bodies and one single object, a beautifully crafted pink quartzite hand axe placed deliberately in the center. The researchers named it Excalibur. That hand axe served no practical purpose in a pit. It was an offering. It was a statement. These people carried their dead to a specific place, lowered them into darkness, and left something beautiful behind. That is not survival behavior. That is ceremony. Now here is where it gets deeply human. In Sungir, Russia, archaeologists uncovered 2 children buried together 34,000 years ago, head to head, facing each other. And covering their bodies were more than 10,000 hand-carved ivory beads. Each bead took roughly 45 minutes to make. Someone spent over 7,000 hours creating decorations for 2 children who would never wear them alive. Think about that. 7,000 hours. In a world where every hour mattered for survival. In a world where food was never guaranteed. Someone chose to spend that time honoring the dead. Because here is what that tells us. Grief is not modern. Grief is ancient. It is written into us. Deeper than agriculture. Deeper than cities. Deeper than language itself. So what did the ritual actually look like? Based on archaeological evidence and studies of living hunter-gatherer groups, we can reconstruct it. When someone died, the group stopped. Everything stopped. The body was not abandoned. It was tended to, washed, positioned, sometimes painted with red ochre, a mineral found at burial sites across 6 continents and 100,000 years of human history. Red ochre may have represented blood, life, rebirth. No one knows for certain, but they used it everywhere, always, for the dead. Then came the decisions. Where to put the body? What to leave with it? Some groups buried their dead beneath the floor of their shelters, keeping them physically close. Some carried them to high ground. some brought them to water. The location was never random. It was chosen. And then came the grief itself. Anthropologist Barbara King, who studied mourning in animals and early humans, documented that prolonged grieving behavior, staying near the body, refusing to eat, withdrawing from the group, appears across hunter-gatherer societies worldwide. Grief was not suppressed. It was witnessed. The group held space for it. But here is the part that no one talks about. Death did not end the relationship. In many ancient cultures, the dead were not gone. They were still present, still part of the group. Ancestor veneration, the practice of speaking to, honoring, and seeking guidance from the dead, appears in virtually every early human society ever studied. Bones were sometimes kept. Skulls were occasionally decorated and displayed. Not out of morbidity, out of love, out of the belief that the people who shaped your life did not simply stop mattering because they stopped breathing. Modern humans invented the idea of moving on. Ancient humans invented the idea of carrying the dead with them. Here is what all of this means. For 300,000 years, before religion had a name, before civilization had walls, before anyone told them they were supposed to, humans chose to treat death as sacred, not because a law required it, not because a book commanded it, because something deep inside them understood that a life deserved to be marked, that absence deserved to be named. They dug graves in frozen ground with stone tools. They carved thousands of beads for children they had already lost. They carried their dead to places that felt right and left behind the most beautiful things they owned. You think ritual is something civilization invented? It isn't. Ritual is something grief invented. And grief invented it the first time one human looked at another human who would never wake up and refused to simply walk away. That instinct is 430,000 years old. It lives in you right now.